My name is Editorial and I am the founder of TANTV.
Welcome to TANTV Talk.
Hello, Pope. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So you are the director of production for the Olney Theatre?
Yes, ma'am. I am. Since December, I've come from New York to take over, so I oversee all of the productions that we do here. I'm super excited about Fela.
I know. Can you kind of, share a bit about the process of, like when did the production idea kick off, the planning, how long did it take before, getting to this point of having the whole Maryland come see it?
Well, the journey to tonight has been well over a year.
Okay.
And, as always, it starts with the page. So once we got the rights to the script, we were able to start securing a design team, starting with our director, Lillian Brown, and the rest of the folks in the team. So then for the next, let's say, up until about 2 months ago, I've been working with the design team, refining their designs and drawings, and at the same time managing my staff here, building everything that they wanted. So we have built the entire set, majority of the costumes, everything is built from scratch here for this production.
I'm very curious about the backgrounds of the creative team. So if you can maybe shed some light on, who was behind the costume and then the music. You can't talk about Fela without talking about the music.
Yes.
So who is behind the music, directing, and all that?
Excellent. This production of Fela is wonderfully directed by Lillian Brown, and our musical director is S. Renee, and our choreographer, his name is Brian. These folks, and actually, Brian and Lillian have worked together on a few shows. They're from Chicago. Our costume designer, Ruben Echoes, is also hailing from Chicago, so we brought these folks in to work on the show. They're an amazing team. S. Renee Clark, our musical director, has just been brilliant in the way she's managed the band, keeps the energy going. And if folks have seen the show before, this one is not exactly what they've seen before. And then for me personally, I think it's been kicked up a notch.
You mean like compared to like the Broadway play?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate. I saw the Broadway run about 7 times while it was running on Broadway. And I had friends that were in the show, some of which from the Broadway run will be coming tonight to open the night. And I mentioned this to Lillian, what I've loved and what I get so much more from this version of the production is how influential the strong women were in his life. That as amazing as Fela was, Fela's mother and some of Fela's wives were really the key folks that really directed that power and energy to a place that we find it today. And the messages that came out that we still listen to today.
How tasking was all this for you? Because you're looking fresh, you're looking unbothered right now, and it's opening night. I'm thinking, this was not tasking at all, was it?
I will. It was a lot of work. I will give credit to the melanin for looking relaxed. It's been a tremendous amount of work. My staff, like I said, we have built everything here in-house, and I have an amazing team of craftsmen and artisans and technicians to get everything done. So the beauty of it is that on this production, so many things have been falling into place, and the energy has been right, that it's just really ushered this show right to where it needed to go. With probably the least, although this show probably has one of the biggest casts I've had this season, it's been like the least amount of stress in getting to it, just because of the energy of the show, the enthusiasm of everybody involved, and so it's been a great ride.
Any word for someone who doesn't know anything about Fela and hears about this play? But who doesn't know anything about Fela, really?
Sadly, still there's a few folks, and I'm glad to educate them. I tell everyone, if you like Afrobeat, then this is the brother that you got to take credit for. He's the person that has created Afrobeat, taking the influences that he had from around the world and tweaking them with this unique African style that only he could bring. And so not only, and the greatest thing about this is that this is not a devised story. This is not something that was created. This man lived, his legacy is real, his impact is real, the messages were real, and I think that you know, that alone, and I often tell people, I was like, you know, the reality of it is you probably heard his music, you just didn't know it was him. You've been at some sexy lounge and you heard this groovy beat and you thought, oh, this is nice, but that was Fela. And so being able to put a face to the name and the face to the sounds for some people, for me, has been a gift. It's been a joy.
I don't want to leave this conversation without knowing more about your background. How did you sort of get into this position, and what's your cultural background, and what inspires you generally to do this work?
My background, so I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised in Harlem. I've been working in production theater for over 20 years now. Originally though, I got sidetracked. I went to school for film, got into corporate, doing things completely unrelated to the arts, and, but after 9/11, I really reevaluated how I spent my time in my life, and really made a decision that the gift I could give myself was to do what I loved for a living and spend my time that way. So I brought myself back to the arts and worked on various things. Prior to coming here, I was a production manager at the Shed in New York, which is a big venue where the building actually moves. I used to was a production supervisor for a big Celebrate Brooklyn, a big outdoor concert festival, and tons of things throughout New York City and touring around the country. So I've been fortunate that I've had a very varied career working in stage plays, live concerts, live entertainment, special events, corporate events, you know, and all of that experience is what the culmination of what brought me here in overseeing this department. Here I oversee our scenic department, our props, costumes, audio, visual, lighting, the design teams that come in, and pretty much anything that you see on our stages, we have a hand to oversee and get up, as well as opening up our new outdoor stage this summer.
I saw that. Pretty cool. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Of course.
Cool.